I'm Brian Bender, and let's queer up gay culture. Pride flag re-raised at Stonewall. Activists have defied the Trump administration by reinstalling a pride flag at the Stonewall National Monument in Manhattan, a landmark widely recognized as the birthplace of the modern LGBTQ rights movement. Just 3 days after the administration quietly removed the flag, community members gathered at Christopher Park to raise it again. The initial ceremony, led by Manhattan Borough President Brad Hoylman-Sigal and State Senator Erik Bottcher, placed the pride flag on a separate pole, leaving it flying at half-mast. Some activists rejected the compromise. J.W. Walker and Tjaden took matters into their own hands, reinstalling the pride flag on its original flagpole. Walker told Gay City News, quote, "Our elected officials, though I love them, brought in their own flagpole and planted it in the ground in front of it, and their plastic pole was lower than that flagpole." So that resulted in our rainbow flag being lower than the American flag and not on the actual flagpole. The least we could do is put our flag higher on this cord than the American flag. The pride flag was first installed at the monument in 2022 under then-President Joe Biden. Angelica Christina, director of the Stonewall Inn Give Back initiative, told Gay City News, quote, "I feel so empowered to say my community showed up en masse," end quote. She added that the community will keep fighting for future generations. So we were talking about this before we started filming, and I want to say, should the American flag be higher? Should it be lower? They're talking here that, that it was lower and that was an offense to them. And I just want to get everybody's read on that.
It's point counterpoint time.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think they should be at the same level. I don't think it should be higher than the American flag. I do believe that although there are times I'm not super proud to be an American, I do love my country, and I believe the American flag should always fly the highest. But I think the pride flag should at least be on its own flagpole next to the American flag at the same.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me?
Same height.
When I heard that it was
and smell the steam.
Yeah, half-mast is when somebody dies.
That was like who's dead? Who died?
Yeah,
that kind of feels.
I thought that was true. Yeah, show respect for a particular person.
Yeah, if it's going to be a little bit lower than the American flag, okay, but at half-mast, maybe at like quarter.
I'd like to see them equal. Or if it's on the same flagpole, right below the American flag.
I do have a counter perspective. People get very annoyed. Not everybody, but some people get very annoyed when we call the hymn "Lift Every Voice and Sing." When we call that the Black National Anthem, we have one national anthem, but that national anthem is about a people's experience and about survival and about a dream. Walking through the blood of the martyrs and all that. It means something different to people who have been marginalized. And I see the rainbow flag in that same light. In fact, I wish it was the inclusive flag with the yellow and the circle. But we are a people, and we have a story, and we have a history. And to say, because this is my lived experience, I think it should take precedence for us. Not at the high school, not at the city council, but in our park. That's a memorial to us.
For sure.
Now, I probably wouldn't say anything if it was the same height or just below. Or I probably wouldn't even have noticed that much. But now that's brought to my attention. Oh yeah, in that park, right on top.
Well, this is of course another solid example of good people standing up to Trump and his Heritage Foundation puppet masters. Christopher Park, by the way, has a South Florida connection.
Is it Christopher Street Park or Christopher
Park? Is the name of the park.
It's right across from the bar.
Leslie and Beth statue?
So the connection is that the lesbian couple featured in the George Segal sculpture on the bench are the late Leslie Cohn and her wife Beth Susskind, both of whom lived in Miami in recent years.
Wow.
So,
and they owned a lesbian bar that was world famous. The lesbian bar in New York.
There were a lot of lesbian bars. So
we're talking about in the 70s and 80s.
Very cool.
You know.
So we have that connection.
Yeah, I smoked my first and only like one of 4 cigar in a lesbian bar in Dallas, Texas. That's a true story. But
I can assure you, cigars are not common.
What I do love is the peaceful protests and the determination, and that there are even people in government who are supporting it. Yeah. This is really, for me, an uplifting and heartwarming story.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So there's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.